Hello and welcome to Johnny English. So yesterday I wasn't able to do a video, but today I've got some great advice for you, and it's all centered on one particular subject, and that is using English. Using it, and by using it you will improve your understanding and your speaking ability. Now, we've already focused last time on making opportunities to speak English, seek people out to speak English too, speak to friends, and things like that, things that will create an English atmosphere, try and think in English, etc., etc. So today we're talking about using your English in specific ways, and it's all to do with radio, music, books, etc. So sing songs. That's my first piece of advice. Sing. If you like songs, if you like music, if there's a particular song that you like, sing along to it, sing out loud, hear the sounds, hear the rhythm of the language, hear the way words are used. Very often songs are very good for everyday English, colloquial English. You start to hear idioms and phrasal verbs, etc. And all sorts of language rules are contained in music, like prepositions are very often used, and you can see how they should be used in their correct place and things like that. My second piece of advice is also to do with sound. So you listen to CDs, listen to audiobooks, and listen to a short passage or maybe a blog, some kind of podcast. Listen to a few sentences or a sentence, and then just copy what you think you've heard. Yeah, so just repeat it. Listen and then repeat it. Listen, then repeat it. That's a really good way of remembering how to say things, of feeling comfortable with using certain phrases maybe that you've not heard before, and you'll learn lots doing that. Another thing associated with that, it's not listening and repeating, but it's having a book that you know, or that you maybe can just open an actual book, or maybe on the computer or whatever, and listen at the same time. So read and listen together, and that gives you extra opportunity to hear how the words that you're seeing actually sound when they're used by a native speaker. And my final piece of advice with regard to listening and using it is listen to the radio. Listen to a radio in English. Listen to radio in your target language. Listening to radio in your target language helps you to learn without really learning. You start to hear sounds subconsciously almost. It's going on in the background, and there's an actual word for it. It's called a phrase for it. It's called eavesdrop listening. So it's a little bit like you sitting in a restaurant having a meal with somebody, and you catch the conversation that's going on next to you, even though you're not actively listening to it. And that's a little bit like radio, that it's loud enough for you to hear, and you start to hear words used. And that's another very valuable way, an additional way of hearing the language and remembering it. So thanks for tuning in. Please tune in tomorrow for some further advice.